You are in the middle of an argument, or maybe just a normal conversation.
Nothing dramatic is happening.
But suddenly your heart is pounding, your thoughts are fragmenting, your throat feels tight. You cannot find the words you were just about to say, and you have no idea why. If this has happened to you, you are not broken. You are not overreacting. You are experiencing something that psychologists call emotional flooding. And in 2026, searches for this term have doubled because millions of people are finally finding language for something that has been happening to them for years. Keep watching. Here is what you need to understand. Emotional flooding is not the same as being stressed. It is not the same as being overwhelmed. It is a specific neurological event. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that processes threats, has taken over. And your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles logical thinking, has temporarily shut down. You are not being dramatic. You are having a system crash. This is the moment where most people would scroll away. But you are still here because you have felt this. Do not skip this. The term emotional flooding comes from relationship psychology. The Gottman Institute, one of the most respected research centers for relationships, has studied it for decades. They found that when your heart rate goes above 100 beats per minute during a conflict, your brain literally cannot process information the same way. You cannot hear what your partner is saying. You cannot remember the point you wanted to make. You cannot think clearly. You are flooded. And once you are flooded, productive conversation becomes impossible. You think this is just about arguments? Wrong. What is really happening inside your brain is far more interesting. Stay with me. In 2026, something shifted. People started searching for emotional flooding at double the rate of previous years. But they also started searching for something else. Overwhelmed versus overstimulated doubled in search interest too. This tells us something important. People are becoming more precise about their internal states. They are no longer saying, "I feel bad." They are asking, "Is this overwhelm? Is this overstimulation? Is this flooding?" This is not fragility. This is sophistication. This is a generation that finally has language for what has been happening to them. That feeling you just had, that small recognition, that is why this topic is exploding right now. So what actually causes emotional flooding? The research points to several triggers. First, accumulated stress. Your nervous system has a capacity limit. When you pile on work stress, financial stress, family stress, and global stress, eventually something has to give. The floodgates open. Second, unresolved conflict. If you have been avoiding a difficult conversation, your brain is still processing it in the background. That background processing consumes energy. And when the conversation finally happens, your system overloads. Third, sensory overload. Too much noise, too much light, too many notifications. Your brain was not designed for this much input. This is the moment where most people would scroll away, but you are still here. Keep listening. Let me tell you about a study that explains why this is happening now. Occupational stress is at a 15-year high globally. Searches for sick note for stress have become a breakout term. People are not just stressed. They are at the point where they need formal permission to stop. Parental burnout is at an all-time high, with single-parent burnout and default parent burnout leading the way. The parent who handles the bulk of the mental load is drowning, and no one sees it. Let me ask you something. Do you find yourself snapping at people for no reason? Do you feel like your patience has completely disappeared? Do you lie awake at night with your heart racing while your body is exhausted? That is not random. That is your nervous system sending you a message. And the message is, "I cannot take any more." Something just shifted inside you. That memory of being flooded. That is exactly what I am talking about. Stay with me for 2 more minutes. The cortisol connection is also worth understanding. Cortisol is your body's main stress hormone. Searches for cortisol have nearly doubled since the start of 2026. People are not just feeling stressed. They want to measure it. They want to understand it. They are searching for cortisol meter and cortisol test near me. This is part of a larger shift toward biohacking wellness. But here is what the research actually says. Chronic stress disrupts your cortisol rhythm. You wake up with high cortisol. You go to bed with high cortisol, and your body never gets the signal to rest. This is why you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up exhausted. Your body slept. But your nervous system never did. You are probably wondering where all of this is going. I will tell you. It is going directly to something inside you that you have never fully seen. So what can you actually do about emotional flooding? The research points to several strategies. The first is to recognize the physical signs before the flood hits. A racing heart, tight chest, Shallow breathing. These are early warning signs. When you notice them, stop. Do not try to push through. Take a break, walk away. The conversation can wait. Your nervous system cannot. The second strategy is to practice what the Gottman Institute calls self-soothing. This is not just a trendy term. It is a physiological intervention. Deep breathing, specifically slow exhales, activates your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the part of your nervous system that calms you down. 20 minutes of self-soothing can bring your heart rate back down to a level where you can think clearly again. The third strategy is to audit your sensory load. How many notifications do you get per hour? How much time do you spend in loud environments? How many screens are you looking at? Overstimulation is a major contributor to flooding. Reducing your sensory input is not weakness, it is maintenance. The fourth strategy is to name what is happening. When you feel the flood coming, say to yourself, I am flooding. This simple act of naming activates your prefrontal cortex and helps you regain control. It sounds too simple to work, but research shows it is highly effective. This war is still happening inside you every single day. The part of you that functions and the part of you that floods, who wins? That depends on whether you are paying attention to the warning signs. The most important thing to understand is that emotional flooding is not a character flaw. It is not a sign that you are weak or unstable. It is a sign that your nervous system has been carrying too much for too long. And your nervous system is not broken. It is just full. The flood is not the problem. The flood is the signal. And the signal is saying something has to change. You have figured it out by now. This was never about being too sensitive. This was about a world that demands too much from a nervous system that was never designed for this pace. The question is not whether you will ever stop flooding. The question is whether you are willing to listen to what the flood is telling you, because that is a question only you can answer. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you understand yourself better, subscribe for more psychology insights.